The grinds, the quests, there is so much to do in RuneScape, so much to explore. Today, we will be exploring the rich history of RuneScape. If you really want to understand the game you are playing, you must know its history. The Third Age. This bloody age, which is known to most people as the God Wars, had a great and peaceful age before it. It was called the Golden Age of Zaros. It was the age of a great god that was killed by a mortal. But why, and by whom? Let's dive right into the story. RuneScape has had 4 ages, and we are currently living in the 5th age. The most notable age was the Third Age, which we all know as the God Wars. Every age is named after the most important events of that time period. One age has a particular name. It's called the Golden Age of Zaros, but most people call it the Second Age. This is the only age that is named after a person, and in today's episode we are going to find out why. Zaros was a god created by the elder god called Ma. Zaros is the god of fate and control. After Guthix, Zaros is the most powerful young god. He possesses a wide range of powers well beyond normal gods. He is capable of leaving his body on a whim and embodying an incorporeal form, though this form is much weaker and incapable of some tasks. As most gods, Zaros can create portals to other worlds and teleport himself there. He also has an involuntary ability to incite loyalty in beings, even gods. He can also read minds and can shapeshift. Zaros came to Gielenor from his homeworld, which was called Freneske, to create his empire of balance and control. He wanted the world to belong to the mortals, but he believed that mortals couldn't live without the guidance of gods to keep them in check, because otherwise they would fall into chaos. That's why he wanted to keep an eye on them, and keep them safe. He strived to become an elder god himself. It would be the only way for him to communicate with them, allowing him to stop them from destroying mortal life. Zaros established a great empire in the Second Age. It reached from Troll Country in the west to Karil in the east, from Gorok in the north to the Caridian Desert in the south. He used the great city of Centisten as his capital. Zaros had 7 great fortresses. In Mauritania, there was the fortress called Karil. This fortress was destroyed in the God Wars, but it's still not known by whom. If someone teleports to Karil by the power of ancient magics, they will be teleported to a hill with a dead tree sticking out. The ruins could actually be buried beneath this very hill. It's currently under leadership by Lord Drakan's werewolves. These werewolves pretend to be humans. In the far west, there was the fortress called Lassar, which stood upon the ice mountain. This fortress was massive, and it had impressive spires. This fortress primarily served as an outpost, which could protect the area against invaders. Nothing remains of the fortress. It is assumed to have been destroyed during the God Wars. It may be that the Black Knights or the natives of Falador built their structures by cannibalizing materials from the ruins. This explains the fact that there are no traces of ruins on the mountain. Next to Lassar, there was another fortress called Padawa. This fortress stood next to the city of Centisten and was unlikely to see military conflict. This fortress was also destroyed, and on top of its ruins, the small village of Edgeville was founded. The wilderness was also a part of the Zarosian Empire, with 4 fortresses within it. Dariak was one of Zaros' fortresses that resided in the area that is now known as the wilderness. It was destroyed during the Third Age, an age nowadays known as the God Wars. Its undoing began when Zaros' loyal soldiers were killed by followers of Zamorak and Saradomin. Ruins of the fortress are found west of the bandit camp in the 23rd level of the wilderness. Another Zarosian fortress in the wilderness is the fortress of Karalangar. It was destroyed during the Third Age, when Zaros' settlements were being wiped out by followers of Zamorak and Saradomin. Karalangar stood where the Graveyard of Shadows resides today, in level 19 wilderness, east of the Wilderness Volcano. Anakal was also one of the Zarosian fortresses that was located in the wilderness. It was captured in the early Third Age and destroyed somewhere between the year 3100 and 4000 during the Third Age by followers of Zamorak and Saradomin. The largest fortress that resided in the wilderness was called Gorok. The Gorok teleport that can be accessed by the use of ancient magics will teleport the user to the ice plateau. For a long time, people thought that the fortress was gone, but it's still here. It's actually located a bit west of the ice plateau, and is the only Zarosian fortress that is still standing. Zaros' great plan for Gielenor was possible, because he had the largest empire Gielenor had ever seen. His empire was served as a symbol of what mortals could accomplish, but as time teaches us, empires fall, and so did this great empire. This empire fell because of greed and the lust for power. Zamorak, a Zarosian Majorat general, wanted more absolute power. He wanted to become a god. Zamorak carefully planned an uprising against Zaros. He recruited a few powerful Majorat, and even had Lord Drakan behind him. All this support wasn't enough though, and he needed a powerful artifact. He chose the Staff of ARMADYL. This staff was one of the 12 ancient Elder artifacts, created by the Elder Gods. It had a unique ability. It could transfer large amounts of power from a god to another being. Because Zamorak wanted to become a god, this was the most efficient weapon. It was a night like any other. Zamorak requested an audience with Zaros. When that audience was granted, Zamorak took a human warrior called Vigora with him. But this wasn't an ordinary visit. Vigora killed the Imperial Zarosian guards, while Zamorak plunged the Staff of ARMADYL into Zaros' back and wounded him. Zaros retaliated, and in the process Zamorak was impaled by the end of the other staff. The staff worked, and Zaros was beginning to fade from Gielenor, while Zamorak was getting the power that Zaros once had. However, before he was banished, Zaros uttered a curse into VELDEZ and all those involved in the rebellion. The curse was to make them wander around Gielenor as ghosts for eternity. The following 6 people were affected by the curse. VELDEZ, a Saradominist, who was previously the owner of the Staff of ARMADYL until it was stolen. RENNARD, a seemingly Zarosian thief, who was the one that stole the Staff of ARMADYL from VELDEZ to sell it to Zaros, but the staff came into possession of Karim. Karim, a Zamorakian messenger, who took the Staff of ARMADYL to Zamorak. LENNISSA, a Saradominist spy. She told Dalek to tell Saradomin that Zamorak was going to overthrow Zaros. Dalek, LENNISSA's boss. He put an enchantment on the staff to conceal it from view, as it would have called out and let Zaros know of the plan. This allowed them to let the rebellion go on as planned. And finally, Vigora, a Zamorakian warrior. This great warrior built the Slayer Tower and killed the Royal Zarosian guards. Zamorak was also affected by Zaros' curse, but because he became a god, he couldn't die. However, the others involved were seemingly unaffected. Vigora theorizes that it was because all of Zamorak's other followers were magical, and so the curse was much less effective on them. Zamorak won the rebellion in the end. After Zaros' fall, the empire began to crumble, with Saradominists and Zaramakians tearing the once mighty empire down, resulting in erasing Zaros from history. They succeeded for the most part, because most people in Gielenor hadn't even heard of Zaros, but someone did manage to find information about the forgotten god and went into the desert to bring back Zaros from the dead, but that's a story for another day. If you want to know more about the history of RuneScape and or liked this video, think about subscribing to never miss a video. Liking the video and leaving a comment also really helps with making this channel grow and giving more people the chance to understand more about the history behind RuneScape. Thank you everyone for watching. This video has been voiced by me, Visea. Thank you very much to Teashirt for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Most of the artwork in this video is not mine or Teashirt's, so here are the credits. Please support them by going to the links in the description. Bye!